Foodie Friends, and welcome back to another video. By now, you all have probably seen the trending pancake cereal dish on your Instagram and on your TikToks, and it's basically a dish where people are cooking baby pancakes, throwing them into a bowl, and eating the pancakes like cereal. I have also been a part of that trend and have made pancake cereal, so you can go ahead and check out my post on Instagram. Ever since this pancake cereal trend blew up, I've seen so many Instagrammers and TikTokers make cereal out of their favorite food. So I've seen chocolate chip cookie cereal, I've seen mini donut cereal, and I've even seen toaster strudel cereal. So today I've decided that I'm going to be partaking in this trend and we are going to be making mini cinnamon bun cereal. So for today's recipe, I put together a pros and cons list to help you decide if you want to make this cereal as well. So let's start with the cons. Con number 1. So this recipe does take quite some time to make because we are hand rolling every single piece of baby cinnamon buns, so it can be seen as a tad bit laborious. Con number 2. This recipe doesn't make for very aesthetic milk pours. Keep watching the video and you'll understand what I mean by that. Con number 3. Again,
nobody has time for this.
But now let's move into some of the pros. Pro number 1. This recipe is extremely yummy and delicious. Who doesn't like cinnamon buns? Pro number 2. This dish is extremely Instagrammable and TikTok AF. It's so pretty you need to show it off on your social media. Pro number 3, cinnamon milk. If you've ever had Cinnamon Toast Crunch, you know exactly what I mean. So while you're eating the cereal, all the cinnamon and sugar goodness have dropped down into the milk and you are left with this amazing cinnamony, sugary milk, and it's to die for. Pro number 4, can you make a whole bunch of these baby cinnamon rolls and store them so you can eat them every day for the next week? Yes, so I am counting this as a pro. So because the pros outweigh the cons by 1, I guess we're gonna make this recipe. Before we get started, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more recipe videos from me, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. Let's get started. So the first thing that we're going to need for this recipe is 1 tube of Pillsbury Country Biscuit Dough, 1/4 cup of white sugar, 1 tablespoon of ground cinnamon, about 2 tablespoons of flour, and lastly 1/4 cup of melted butter. So the first step in this recipe will be to make our cinnamon sugar. This step is super easy because just like the name, we are combining our cinnamon with our sugar. Personally, what I find to be the best ratio for cinnamon sugar is 4 parts sugar and 1 part cinnamon. Now that our cinnamon sugar is done, we can set this aside. The next thing that we're going to do is open up our tube of biscuit dough. Wait, hold on. The packaging clearly states that it makes 10 biscuits. Guys, I actually got gypped by Pillsbury. I want my 1 biscuit dough. Anyways, let's get back to the video. So step 1 in this recipe will be to sprinkle some flour onto our working surface and on our rolling pin. In this video, I am using a mini fondant roller, but any type of rolling pin will work. Then we are going to take a biscuit dough and start rolling it until it's flat. The next step will be to brush the dough with some of our melted butter, and this butter is what the cinnamon sugar will be sticking to. Once we are done with the butter, what we're going to do is take about a 3/4 tablespoon of our cinnamon sugar and sprinkle it onto the surface area of the dough. Then we are going to start rolling the biscuit dough into a tube, and we want to make sure that we are rolling as tightly as we can because the last thing we want is for our cinnamon buns to unravel in the oven while they bake. Once rolled, we can start cutting out our mini cinnamon buns, and each biscuit dough will give us about 6 to 8 pieces. So this is what our baby cinnamon buns should look like.
Aren't they so cute?
So we are going to repeat all of these steps for the rest of our biscuit dough. And if you do notice that the dough is sticking to the surface or your rolling pin, just sprinkle on some flour and that should fix it right up. With this 1 tube of dough, I was able to get about 2 servings of cinnamon bun cereal. Okay, not actually 2 hours, but maybe about 20 minutes of constant rolling and buttering and sprinkling and cutting. This is what they should look like. So I placed all of my baby cinnamon buns onto a baking tray, and I did set them a few centimeters apart from each other just because they will expand in the oven and we don't want any of the buns touching. Buns touching. Now we are going to bake these cinnamon buns at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 8 to 10 minutes or until they're golden brown. So out of the oven, we are going to cool for 5 to 7 minutes. Can we just take a moment to appreciate the aesthetic of these cinnamon buns right now? They look amazing. But also appreciate the smell that will be in your kitchen once these come out of the oven. Once these cinnamon buns have cooled, place them in your favorite cereal bowl, and now we can add some milk. Guys, the pain I felt when I saw the milk splattering everywhere. And then it happened again. I just wanted to take an Instagrammable pour shot, so just stay away from these. You can't do them. Anyways, this is what your bowl should look like after you've cleaned up all the splatter. It actually looks so great and it's so delicious. Just wanted to let you know that if you are making this recipe in bulk, make sure you store your cinnamon buns in an airtight container and they should be good for up to a week and a half. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more recipe videos from me, hit that subscribe button, and also check out some of my other videos where I make some super yummy stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Let's go make some cinnamon bun cereal.